Hi everyone, I'm Derek Martinez.
And I'm Kara Kwasinski, and welcome to this special edition of Campus Closeup, a show filled with important and interesting stories about Medina University.
And we'll begin with a story about the man at the top, the president of our university, Michael Grandello. Our Kedrick Davis had a chance to talk with him recently, one-on-one.
Hello, my name is Kedrick Davis. Today, me and my colleagues were able to sit down and talk to the president of Medina University about a couple pressing issues. Let's take a look. So, where are you from originally?
I was born in Cleveland, raised in Dayton, Ohio, and spent most of my time in Ohio, some in Wisconsin and Maryland. I went to Ohio Northern University in Ada, Ohio, received my master's degree from the University of Dayton in Dayton, and my doctorate from the University of Toledo.
Fantastic, fantastic. So how did you end up here at Medina University?
Well, I've known about Medina for a long time. I respected what it does. I knew a former chairman of the board. The search committee called me and asked if I'd be interested, and knowing the reputation of the institution, I gladly submitted my credentials.
So what do you say is the hardest part about your job?
Well, it's just making sure that we're providing access and opportunity for students across the curriculum, across the United States and across Michigan. We think that we have changed people's lives through the power of education. So doing that is a tremendous responsibility. We have 700 employees from across the world. We have campuses in Dubai, we have campuses in China, we have campuses in Haiti, as well in Michigan. And make sure that the employees are sound and the students are getting what they paid for.
Me growing up personally, I wanted to be a fireman growing up.
Right.
All my life I wanted to be a fireman, help people. So what did you want to be when you were younger? Because I'm pretty sure no kid has ever thought, hey, I want to be president of a university when I get older.
That's a good observation. At first I wanted to be an art major, and I liked art classes. Then I liked history classes, and then I liked political science classes. So I wanted to get involved in public service through politics, government. I run for office, which I did do at a small level. Once I became a missions counselor, right out of college, I joined Ohio Northern as an admissions counselor at the lowest level job on campus. And I got excited about the jobs that you could do on a college campus. And it's a big industry now. So as time went on, I wanted to do the next job up. And when I got to a vice president's level, I said I might as well try to be a college president.
Let's talk about the world around Medina University. So recently there has been a lot of incidents around the country resulting in, a lot of gun violence on campuses and stuff like that. So how do you feel about our safety and our public safety here on Medina University's campus?
We just hired a new director of the public safety program. We feel that he's going to be pretty significant in moving us to the next level. He's a retired police lieutenant from Dearborn. He understands a lot more about this than we do. Personally, I think overall, compared to my peers and compared to other colleges, we have a very safe campus. Having said that, any campus could turn into something serious at any time. They're open institutions. We let people walk in the door. So we're really looking at ways to keep our students safe.
So what are your hopes for the future of Medina University?
I want Medina to be the premier mid-sized Catholic institution in the United States. We're not going to be a Notre Dame, but we're not going to be the smallest institution just struggling to get by. We have a niche in higher education that has diversity. We're one of the most diverse schools in the United States when it comes to the Muslim community, when it comes to people of color, when it comes to people of different backgrounds. That's unique to us.
So what advice do you have for graduating students?
I think that go out there and do what you want to do and start at the bottom and be really willing to take risks and fail and be willing to not want it all right now, but want to make sure you're making certain steps towards what you want. Our students will be ready for anything that they see. Be willing to fail, be willing to take risks, and be willing to take a moral stand when you have to.
That was a phenomenal interview that the president was able to give us. My name is Kedrick Davis. This has been your Campus Closeup. Back to you in the studio.
And while President Grandillo's days are pretty full, his wife, the First Lady of Madonna, has been busy as well, hoping to help some of the young women who attend Madonna reach their goals. Christina Paglia has more on that.
My name is Christina Paglia, reporting on the campus of Madonna University on this beautiful day. I had the opportunity to interview Miss Nancy Grandillo, the First Lady of our university. Let's check that out.
The Leadership Endowment Fund was created to enable female students on campus to pursue their education at Madonna University. The criteria for choosing a candidate will vary, and it will really be need specific. It might help for daycare for a child, or daycare for an elderly parent, or an aging or a sick parent. It might be an emergency fund for leave of absence type money. It was created because of this anonymous donor, and the president felt that this would be a good opportunity for me to have some input into helping the advancement of women on campus. An endowed scholarship, it's a pool of money, and once it reaches its maximum, whatever that has been determined, and really, you know, there is no maximum on this fund. People can continue to donate to this fund. Someone would apply through the financial aid office. If they knew specifically that they're asking for this money, it would be directed to that specific line item, and then also to me. It's important for me because I know that sometimes some of our students come on tough times. And another thing too is sometimes just through basic circumstances, students have to step out, and federal financial aid is only a finite group of money. And if they still need time to finish their degree, this money can help bridge that gap. Currently, the fund does not have enough to generate a gift, but we're hopeful that within the next 2 to 3 years, we can start awarding these financial aid enhancements to our students. If you'd like to donate, you can contact the advancement office. They will process your gift, and it will go into the line item that feeds into my fund. As long as we have enough money to give, we will try to give to everyone that applies. I'm very hopeful that this will be a perpetual fund that will live for as long as the university.
Thank you guys so much. Once again, my name is Christina Paglia. Back to you.
There's no question that one of the most important things for everyone on campus, on any campus these days, is safety. And we wanted to know how Madonna's Public Safety Department is dealing with the changing world. So we sent our Niles Clincy to take a look.
Niles Clincy here, reporting from Madonna University for Campus Closeup. I had the pleasure of sitting down with Lieutenant Michael Maddock of Campus PD, and we got a chance to talk about the different ins and outs of being safe here on the campus. Let's go take a look.
So what we would always tell everybody is being part of your community. If you see something, say something. If you see something suspicious that you think is suspicious, it doesn't really have to be. But if it's something that's just off the wall, call public safety. We'd rather hear about something that's nothing than not hear about an incident that we probably should know about. A lot of people will see something that's big, but, oh, somebody else will call it in, and then we get no calls. And I'd rather have 100 calls than no calls. You're going to get the same result either way. If a medical emergency, if you call public safety, as we're responding, we're also going to call the ambulance service. So you'll still get us on scene, and we're going to contact the ambulance service. So both responders will be coming. So either way, you're going to get the same response, because typically if you call Livonia 911 and they're responding here, they're also calling us, letting us know, and we'll also respond. Just to keep your eyes open, we're out and about, we're on patrol, but we're only one set of eyes. It takes all of us together, working together, to keep this a safe campus. And I think that's a major, it's a need for all of us to want safety. And if we all work together on it, it'll become second nature, and we won't even have to think about it. We also subscribe to the run, hide, fight. Run if you can, hide otherwise, fight if you have to. Just like everybody's learned in high school, grade school, high school on up. And it's also a work in progress that we're going through training, and we're right now going to train some trainers. So we're going to train our staff and faculty. So in the unlikely event that anything like that happens, we're prepared for it. Key fobs, cameras, and we're retrofitting our blue light emergency phones out in the parking lots. And part of the new phone system phase is we're going to put a phone in every classroom. So again, if we need to put out mass notifications, it'll go right to the classrooms. Right now we have the rave alert, so I can put out a rave alert, but if you're in class and your phone's in your bag, the professor has their phone in their bag, they're not going to get the rave alert. So with phones in the classrooms, we can put out a group page and get the word out a lot quicker to the campus itself.
That's all for now. Back to the studio.
Of course, we all want a safe campus, no question about that. And when we get to campus, we'd like to find a decent and close parking spot. But for Rodney Hamilton, he tells us if your classes are in the Franciscan Center, you might need a good pair of walking shoes.
Hello, my name is Rodney Hamilton. I'm here at the Westby parking lot to figure out why it's hard to park here at Madonna University.
I feel the parking spots here at Madonna, right here by the Fran, is pretty bad because nobody can find a parking spot right now. And if you do have to find a parking spot, you have to park way over there by the freeway, which is pretty bad for the people that has to come over here by the Fran just to go to class. So that's why I feel like they should expand the land over here and build a new parking structure.
I feel like there should be more parking at Madonna, easier for commuters and even people that live here to be able to get a parking spot at 8 a.m. in the morning or whenever they get here. It's really hard to park these days.
It's really difficult for me to park at Madonna in the morning. There's just not enough parking spots for the amount of students that are coming in, and unless you get here like an hour before your class starts, you're not going to be able to find a parking spot.
Yeah, it's really hard to find a parking spot here. Most of the time, this entire lot is filled, and I come here in the morning and drive up and down every single route just to see if there's one. Normally, I have to go back over to Kresge Hall to even find a parking spot.
So parking at Madonna is a little bit tough to find spots sometimes, especially over by the Franciscan Center. There's never enough spots. Like today, I grabbed the last spot over by the Franciscan Center, so I really think we need more parking there.
I'm Rodney Hamilton. Now back to you in the studio.
Well, I definitely wore the wrong shoes today.
That makes two of us. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Christina Paglia and Spencer Woolley will take over the anchor desk.
With some great stories you guys don't want to miss. Stay tuned.
My name's Reggie. Just recently, my wife and I took in her sister's children. Now, we already had 4, so I went from becoming a family man to a man with a bigger family. Now, you can't eat love, so I don't know how I'm gonna feed them tonight. How was that, Rich?
I think I look more like Denzel.
That's cold, man.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
When life's this hard, it's no wonder 7,000 students drop out every school day. Visit boostup.org and help kids in your community stay in school.
Mom, can I have $1? Yeah, it's right. I think my purse is upstairs on the bed. It's not here. Check the dining room. No. sister's room? The upstairs closet? The downstairs closet?
There are no more closets.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Welcome back to our special edition of Campus Closeup. I'm Spencer Woolley.
And I'm Christina Paglia, and we want to begin with a story about dorm life, because hundreds of students do live right here on campus. And our Devin Smith tells us about the newest dorm with some pretty nice features.
Hi everyone, I'm Devin Smith, and I recently got a chance to catch on with Medina University's new dorms that they built over the summer. So let's go take a look at them.
I feel as though the new dorms are pretty nice, pretty well put together.
Honestly, in my opinion, I like the new dorms. It's pretty much quiet over here, not that too many people live over here, and it's just the new atmosphere of just being new.
I enjoy the new dorms. Being my first time living away from home and being able to move into a brand new facility is definitely a blessing. Overall, my experience here has been enjoyable.
Room-wise, I feel as though you have enough room on your side and the other side if you were to have a roommate. So you have your own privacy on top of being able to have that space in the middle to where you guys can communicate, get to know each other a little bit more, and just have a great time with each other.
Kept pretty clean, so that's a shout out to the maintenance crew here.
I like the lounge better over here because it's new couch, new setting, flat screen TVs, basically just how it just feels, just a new feeling.
I think the lounges are pretty nice, as in they're very spacious. They have comfy couches, I must say, and then they have up-to-date televisions and stuff like that. So, and then you and your friends can all meet up there, do homework there. It's a quiet environment. It's pretty great.
It's definitely a good place to do your homework, chill out if you need to. Say you don't have a TV in your room, you can go watch the TV that's in the front. Furniture is real nice, real relaxed area. So it's definitely it's a good touch to the new dorms for sure.
Okay. Well, as you can see, I love the kitchen. I'm a pretty professional cook, I would say. So, I mean, the counter space is pretty nice and open. I can have all my utensils that I need, all the space that I need on top of that. So, and the up-to-date technology as well is my main thing, because it's I don't have to sit around and wait for certain stuff to kick in. It's pretty on spot when I need it.
Key fobs I like better because it's just easier access to getting your dorms in and out, coming up and just scanning it instead of having to stick a key through it and just having to struggle with that sometimes.
It's good security. It's a good feeling of security knowing that only you or your roommate has that key. It's a hassle sometimes carrying a lot of things from your car to your dorm, say on the second floor. You gotta swipe it 3 or 4 times in order just to get to your room. But I mean, again, that comes with the territory of security, make sure you're safe. So overall, no real complaints about that.
I would probably change just the walls in the new dorms because how thin they are.
Yeah, a coin machine in the laundry rooms will be real convenient. I know a lot of students I've been talked to about getting change and kids going back and forth trying to get change. It's a hassle for a lot of people. It's a little tough. So being able to have a coin machine and throwing $1 in there and getting your change back and doing your laundry make it a lot easier for everybody.
I'm Devin Smith signing off for Campus Closeup. See you next time. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Devin. And not only are the new residence halls pretty cool, but they're also home to many of Madonna's international students. Our Jordan Cumbo has more on the Fordham students who have traveled many miles to study right here.
Of Madonna's 4,000 students, over 100 of them come from countries outside the United States of America. I had the opportunity to sit down with some admissions officers and talk to them about their experiences here at Madonna.
I have always been a teacher. So before I came to Madonna, I worked at several different countries, including Taiwan, Korea, and Japan.
It's kind of part of who Madonna is already to be international. And particularly if you think of us as a Catholic institution, there's Catholics all over the world who would A, want to come to the U.S., but B, may also want a Catholic education.
Our focus is in the Asian countries.
If you look on a globe, right, and you put a pin in northern Thailand, and you went out, 1,000 or so miles from there, there's more people that live in that circle than live outside of it on the planet.
Our biggest group of international students right now is from Korea. We have about 40 students from Korea, okay? And we have about 25 students from China.
International students only know of 10 or 15 big name schools that everybody's heard of. So international recruiting can be more difficult, just because, again, there's a lot of schools in the U.S. and it's a very competitive market. And it wasn't something that I think was a major priority for Madonna in the past, but we're trying to get it, to be that way.
We offer two types of financial assistance to our international students. First one is we have merit scholarship. Okay, so the amount is based on the student's GPA. So students can receive from $1,000 up to $5,000 per semester. Okay, and then the other type of financial assistance is we let international students pay the same amount of tuition as domestic students.
In addition to helping international students with their academics, these admissions officers also form lifelong friendships.
I have been in contact with a lot of students who attended Madonna. I just received a birthday card, and also I just sent a birthday card to a student who was here in 1996. And she is turning 50 this year. So, this kind of a long-term friendship that I have developed, with a lot of students, that's very, very, to me, it's very heartwarming.
Well, for me, it's seeing them graduate, and I think even more so, it's when I see them later, after they graduate, and when I've traveled and gone back to see them after they're working and got jobs and met their families, and when they get married and have kids, and I get the notifications of had a baby and these kind of things. It makes me feel older, but it's always good to see that they were successful and they used the stuff that they learned, learned in school to get a job and kind of do what college is supposed to do, which is prepare them for life.
Reporting for Campus Closeup, I'm Jordan Cumbo. Back to you.
Maybe one of the best little treasures here at Madonna is the bookstore, which actually has way more than just books. Marcellus Breckenridge walked over to take a look.
Marcellus Breckenridge today with Campus Closeup, and today we're going to head inside the bookstore and see exactly what they have inside.
My name is Kara Kwasinski. I'm a student here at Madonna University, and I also work at the bookstore. Students can find textbooks either online or they can come ask a bookseller for help here in the store. Our bookstore floor is kind of like a snake. It starts with A, it goes all the way around the back, and then it loops up and down. So if they just look alphabetically, and they're organized by the course number, so the first 3 letters and then the last 4 numbers of your courses. There's a couple different ways that you can obtain your textbooks for this semester. The first way is by ordering them online. If you order them online, we will we pull from our shelves, and then if we don't have a textbook, we'll put it as a back order. And then once we get the orders in, we'll pull that textbook for you and we'll send you an email that your textbook is in. And through ordering online, it reserves the textbook, so you can choose to ship to home option or pick up in-store option. And so if you just choose to pick it up in store, you'll come to the front, show us your student ID, and we'll go over to the back and we'll pull it from our shelves, and then we'll give it right to the student. We do have an online website where you can order textbooks, merchandise, and different Madonna apparel on the website. You can order graduation gear and different things like snacks. We also order drinks, and in case for students on campus, we have things like cough drops. We have different things like toothpaste and toothbrushes. At the end of the semester, we have a due date that we tell students that they have to get their textbooks due back by, and usually it's the Friday or Saturday of finals. So this semester textbooks are due back May 5th. And so you just come in, you give us your phone number, we look it up in our system, we check in the textbooks, and then you're all good to go. If you don't return your textbooks, you will be charged a replacement fee and a late rental fee for the textbooks. So we do offer price matching. We only can price match at barnesandnoble.com or Amazon, and through Amazon it can only be through Amazon. It cannot be through any third-party sellers or through things like Amazon Warehouse. It is very important for us in the bookstore to have great customer service because we do have competition like Chegg or Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So if we have great customer service, we know all of our customers will come back to us here at the bookstore. So our employees are technically employed by Barnes & Noble. The university as a whole is owned by Barnes & Noble booksellers. It's through the Barnes & Noble College part of Barnes & Noble as a whole. So since the bookstore is owned by Barnes & Noble, we do lease the space here at Madonna University. We do make a small marginal profit off of our book sales and our merchandise sales and just whatever we sell in the bookstore. We do offer an app to students, parents, anyone that is interested in the Madonna bookstore. It mimics our online website. And so with the app, you can sign up for our emails, and our emails will remind you when textbooks are due back, when we're having sales, and different things that are going on around the campus. If there are any more questions or if anyone wants to find out more information, they can check out our website at madonna.bncollege.com.
Marcellus Breckenridge, signing out.
Changing gears a little, many people don't realize that Madonna has some awesome sports teams, and one of them is our lacrosse team. Orlando Chapman tells us that MU's lacrosse team has become a championship team.
First year I got hired in February, not a lot of time to recruit. So we ended up with about 11 to 15 guys come season time. Dealt with some injuries, so most times we were playing at 10 guys. We didn't even have a sub, and getting killed. And then big highlight for that year was winning our first game against Cleary. And then we took that kind of into the next year. I finally had a full year to recruit. So we did really well recruiting kind of this area. A bunch of kids from Northville and Catholic Central and St. Mary's. And then as well as some guys from out of state. We have multiple kids from New York, Colorado, Georgia, Wisconsin, Idaho. So we did pretty well outside of Michigan. And then kind of getting all those guys and kind of, trying to buy in sort of like the whole Michigan Fab Five thing, where one guy kind of helped recruit another kid to come here. A lot of them played on the same travel team, the Michigan Mavericks. So they knew each other and were friends beforehand, so I think that helped a lot.
Some great features about the team was during the fall, we'd all work out together and we all have fall practices. And I think it really brought us together because there was a lot of practice time. We'd have 5 days a week, even we'd have weekend stuff, so I think it brought us together.
It's our second year program and we're 17-0, just won conference, looking to get a national championship. We have a bunch of freshmen, bunch of them. We have only 2 sophomores and a junior and a 5th-year senior, and they're doing pretty well.
So this year's been a pretty fun year so far. We're working our butts off out here in practice, and the matter of the fact is that at the beginning of the year we just knew we had the people and we had the talent to do well and to make things happen. Myself, I didn't think that it'd be turning out this well. A second-year program. I had high hopes, but to be 17-0 right now and conference champs, it's just a great accomplishment. We have a solid defense, very solid. Connor, Jake, and Mulch down there the whole time, always working their butts off for me. At midfield, we have hard workers like Ian and Harry and Frankie. Down at attack, we have just unbelievable talent with Cole Tucker and Ty, and so it's just awesome to see all these guys, working hard, working together, and putting in the effort every single day to become better and try to win a national championship.
Team has to get rid of it. Gingell looking to the middle. He finds Ian Rush, and the Crusaders are on the board. 2-1 the score. Rush finds the back of the net.
A lot of really good kids, a lot of huge talent of guys that just really buy into what we're about. And then even with next year's class of guys coming in, we're just going to be constant competition at every position. So guys are having to work hard because nothing's safe. But I think that's really the big key, is just getting those guys here, and having that full year to recruit.
And that's a wrap today. I'm Orlando Chapman, back to the studio.
And while the Madonna baseball team may not have been quite as successful, our players still felt like winners at a recent game. Because, as our Kara Kwinzinski shows us, it's where they were playing that had everybody cheering.
Madonna University's baseball team was blessed with the opportunity to play against the University of Toledo at Comerica Park. This was the university's second time playing at this pro baseball stadium, which is home to the Detroit Tigers. Fans of all ages came out to support Madonna and the baseball team.
I think it's a wonderful opportunity for our young men and for all of us. Some of us maybe have never been there, some of the other moms and dads. It's great. It's a great opportunity. It's a wonderful feeling to be here.
I am very excited. It's actually my first Crusaders game out of any of their athletic departments, so I'm very excited to be here. But I'm very excited to see them play here. I hope that they do very, very well tonight.
Well, I'm very happy for them because I think it's thrilling to be able to be in a regular stadium and show their skills.
The president and the first lady were there to enjoy this wonderful event.
Great opportunity for our players to enjoy a big league experience at a small college, and we're just excited to be a part of it.
And there were even other sports teams there to cheer on the Crusaders.
I think it's a really great opportunity for all our boys. I mean, they're there for us at our games, so we got to support all the athletes, especially the baseball boys.
What sports do you guys play?
Basketball.
Basketball. I feel like it's good for the players because if I played baseball, I sure as heck want to be out there.
I think it's an amazing thing. Like, this is so cool to sit here at Comerica Park and watch the boys play on a professional field. I think it's cool because I'm on a softball team too, so it'd be really cool to like have the softball team do something cool like that, because honestly that's a great experience for everyone, even if they're not playing, to be in that dugout. So I think it's cool.
Unfortunately, the Crusaders did lose, but the team was still happy to have this opportunity to play in a pro baseball stadium.
It was fun. It's a great atmosphere. Everyone comes out, and whether we were losing or not, everyone's having fun, and it's just a great atmosphere. Everyone having fun, and it's a good time.
Oh, great! It's a great experience to go out here every year. Could have had a better performance, but yeah.
It's a great experience being out here. Ever since you're a little kid playing baseball, you always picture playing for the Tigers, and it's kind of nice to be a kind of a Tiger for the day, so it's a great experience for the boys.
From Comerica Park, I'm Kara Krasinski. Back to you in the studio.
Wow, that must have been so much fun.
I actually was at the game and it was a blast. Well, we're going to take another short break and come back with anchors Devin Smith and Jordan Cumbo, so stay with us.
So my uncle calls and he says he's dizzy and he's losing his balance. I'm like, Unc, you want me to take you to a doctor? He's like, no, I'm gonna look up the symptoms. I said, your symptoms are you're dizzy and you're losing your balance. So he said, I can't get on the internet because my arm is numb. I said, well, use your good arm and dial 911.
Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love is showing symptoms of stroke, don't wait because it might be too late. Dial 911. Time lost is brain lost.
Do you like this top? It's so gay. Really? Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Madonna University's Broadcast and Cinema Arts program is preparing me for the future.
I'm learning from industry professionals, making connections, and honing my skills from hands-on experience every day.
The professors are dedicated to my success, instilling professionalism, creative thinking, and a strong work ethic.
Join Madonna University's Broadcast and Cinema Arts program. Earn your Bachelor's of Arts and take that first step towards your dreams.
And welcome back to Campus Closeup, a show produced by our TV news class. I am Devin Smith.
And I'm Jordan Cumbo, and we want to start this last segment of the show with an inspiring story about an event on campus that was designed to talk about the importance of bringing people of different backgrounds and beliefs together. Our Derek Martinez was able to attend.
Medina University recently held a movie panel discussion. They focused on the film The Sultan and the Saint and interfaith relationships, communications, and understanding. I was able to sit down with a few of the panel members and they explained to me why interfaith relationships are important to them.
We define peace as not the absence of conflict, but learning how to deal with conflict in a way that doesn't put rights, wants, or needs of one religion over another. This event helps our community come together and take a step to the right direction and accepting other religions and philosophical differences between us all.
It's about building relationships moving forward in the future.
I think when we come together and have good conversations, have honest conversations, even sometimes difficult conversations, we come to a better understanding and appreciation of one another.
And the importance of dialogue is to get to know each other. We need to open up, we need to ask questions, learn about the other person.
It's about understanding each other, understanding the different cultures and religions that we have, and coming together, using those similarities to build a foundation of moving forward.
Get to know them on a personal level so we can foster this coexistence and harmony and live in peace together.
Sometimes when people get isolated from one another or get into these camps, they don't understand the commonality and we end up fighting over things that we probably have in common.
Judgments based on the assumption of what they are or what their religion or culture might represent. But trying to get to them and try to know their foundation, you know, understand them as human beings.
Lack of communication is, it's basically what's driving this tendency of people to dehumanize others.
We're really one human race, and yet we find ways to divide ourselves.
So it's important to understand each other more on a personal level and to educate ourselves.
Make that first step, build that bridge, open that line of communication.
Every religious group, every major religion, and even some of the smaller ones, have their version of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And to me, that's fascinating. How does that come about? We've got all these different faiths, and yet they all have some version of that scripture or that golden rule. So I'm amazed at that, and that gives me great hope.
Thank you, Hamid, thank you, Jesse, and thank you, Zena, for joining us on this Campus Closeup.
A very different kind of performance was also held on campus, a musical based on a classic book, as our Braxton Simpson explains.
Welcome to Campus Closeup. My name is Braxton Simpson. Today I had the pleasure of interviewing one of the lead actors in the Madonna Lyric Theater's production of Little Women. Take a look.
So the musical is about a young girl named Jo and her experiences and the adventure she goes on in becoming a writer. In the beginning scene, she's in New York and she's with her tutor, Professor Bear. And they get into a little bit of an argument. He doesn't like her story that she worked very hard on. She flashes back to when she lived back home in Concord and how everyone loved her stories and how there's a boy named Lori who fell in love with her. And no matter what she did, she couldn't get him to stop trying to propose to her. And eventually he left brokenhearted. And at the beginning of Act 2, we find her back in New York with Professor Bear, which is her tutor, character I play. And she rewrites the story and tells it to him. And while telling this story, she also tells him how she went to the Weekly Volcano Press, stood on a chair and announced it in front of the whole press and how they loved this story. And this time around, she's changed things a little bit and Professor Bear loves the story. Now, they have a very interesting relationship. He asks her pretty much on a date, and she accepts, but she has to leave because her sister Beth comes down with scarlet fever, so she returns home. Her sister Beth passes away, and her sister Amy comes back from Europe and falls in love with the boy that initially tried to propose to her, and they get married. At their wedding, Professor Bear turns up, and he proposes to her in this scene and she accepts. And that's how the story ends. I really enjoy lyric theater here. I've been doing that since my freshman year. It's now my junior year. I've been in 5 shows. This will be the 6th show I've been in. I've also helped do lights for a show. It's a great program. There's a wide variety of people here, and everyone gets along really well. And I couldn't be more proud to be part of Madonna University Lyric Theater.
Back to you guys in the studio. Signing out, Braxton Simpson.
And continuing to talk about performances, let's turn to our capstone class here at Madonna in the Broadcast and Cinema Arts Department. Many of you might not know that the capstone class creates a full-length feature film every year. And as our Spencer Woolley tells us, that means learning about professionalism, creativity, and teamwork.
Hello, I'm Spencer Woolley reporting for Campus Closeup, and I had the pleasure of talking to the talented cast and crew of the Capstone Film program. Let's take a look.
The Capstone Film class is the senior level class in the Broadcast and Cinema Arts program. It takes place of the student's senior seminar, and it is a year-long class. It starts in January, it goes all the way to December, and it's 3 semesters long. And in that year, the students will learn the process of filmmaking. They will come up with story ideas. They will write treatments for those ideas. They will pitch them to a panel of producers and faculty. Then we will narrow down the story. Ultimately, the class will pick the story they want to do. They'll write the script, they'll produce it, they'll shoot it, they'll edit it, and then we premiere it in December at a major theater. In the past, we've premiered it at Imagine Theaters and MJR Theaters.
I was a part of Capstone 2017, which started in January of last year and went through all 12 months of 2017, and our film was called People Like Me. People Like Me is the story of a 16-year-old girl who checks herself into a hospital to overcome bulimia. And while she's at the hospital, she meets this group of random kids with their own varying illnesses, you know, leukemia, cystic fibrosis, and they bond over the fact that she had to miss her high school prom in order to be at this hospital, because they've all wanted to go to prom, but they can't because they're not normal kids.
I came up with the idea for Solace because of the phrase, death is dying, and then I thought that was too dark for the university, so I changed it to the Grim Reaper's retiring. And I just tried to make a story around the phrase, the Grim Reaper's retiring. And so, as I was writing my treatment, that's when my story really came to life, because before that I had a basic idea of what I wanted. But as I wrote my treatment, it just flowed out, and so it was very on the spot.
My favorite part about being co-head writer is that I am partially in charge of the story. I mean, of course, we have a writing team, we all have input. So me and Christina, this is the first time we've had co-head writers for a capstone film. Normally it's just one head writer, but for the most part, it is me and Christina's decision on what mainly happens in the story, how the story goes, how the characters are. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool.
Solace being a dark comedy, the comedy just comes from like the absurdity. It comes from the characters. It comes from like how people die. I haven't really dealt a lot with death in life. I'm just extremely interested by it. I think it's very interesting. I think the darker things in life are very interesting because people usually don't talk about it, and they try to keep everything positive, but I think the darker things are very interesting.
And those are really the things that this class, that we try our hardest to impart on the students and get them to understand and really move forward, leaving this class and leaving their college career behind, moving into their professional careers. If they've learned those few things, if they've learned how to be professional in a professional setting, if they've learned how to work hard and work harder than everyone around them, and they've learned to creatively solve problems, then I've done my job, and that the class has done its job.
This has been Campus Closeup on the Capstone Film program. I'm Spencer Woolley, back to you in the studio.
And at last, but certainly not least, many of the students here at Madonna are caring, loving, and compassionate in so many ways. And when the chance to help children with cancer was put before them, they said, "Count me in." Our Arlando Chapman has a heartwarming story.
Madonna has various organizations here on campus, and one of them, Love Your Melon, is a more giving one. So I sat down with the captain and the co-captain to learn more about this program, and this is what they had to say.
So Love Your Melon is a nationwide organization that is run by college students that tries to help alleviate the stresses of childhood cancer. by selling products such as hats, particularly beanies like this. And for every beanie sold, 50% of profits are donated to kids to do donation events. So we dress up as superheroes and go to hospitals and donate beanies and hats to kids.
So this year was our second annual Cutaway Cancer event, and the purpose of it was to make fleece tie blankets, and we donated them to Children's Hospital of Michigan. So last year we were able to do 101, and this year we were able to donate 113 blankets to Children's Hospital. I actually started Love Your Melon here on Madonna's campus. I received a hat for my birthday from one of my best friends at Saginaw, and she kind of told me like the story behind Love Your Melon and why like this was so important to her and why she thought it was a good fit for me. And as soon as I got the hat the next Monday, I came and talked to Amanda Gerasi, and she thought it was a great idea, so I signed us up, and then from there we've gotten over 20 active crew members, and it's been a really big success. So I joined Love Your Melon from word from Rachel. She's been kind of my partner in crime since coming to Madonna. So she taught me about Love Your Melon, and being a nursing student, I've definitely always been interested in pediatric nursing, and so being able to make a difference in the lives of children who are battling cancer was something that was really inspiring to me, and I wanted to be able to help out with that.
And that's all for today. I'm Orlando Chapman. Back to the studio.
Love Your Melon. What a great way to end our show, because that's all the time we have for today.
Well, we would all like to thank Cheryl Choden and Sue Boyd for teaching us about TV news. Till next time, I'm Devin Smith.
And I'm Jordan Cumbo. And from all of us, we'd like to thank you for watching.
Hope you enjoyed the show.